This is Rohingya Rvision News. Today is Monday, 10th March 2014. I am Diana Ahmed. Burma census, a risk or reward for Rohingya Muslims. In the desolate camps of Western Burma, many homeless Muslims are determined to assert their ethnic identity as Rohingya after years of persecution. In a census, some fear will spark further turmoil. Burma's first census in 30 years, which starts at the end of March with United Nations help, will provide new data on the country, until now relying on figures from a flawed population tally in 1983. But observers warn that controversy over rigid official definitions of ethnicity and entrenched mistrust of authorities after decades of junta rule risk damaging the country's fragile peace efforts and further inflaming religious tensions after waves of anti-Muslim violence. Questions of identity go to the very heart of divisions in Arakan state, where long-held animosity from the side of Arakan state on Muslim community erupted into bloodshed 2 years ago, leaving scores dead and displacing 140,000 people, mainly among the ethnic Rohingya. Violence has already flared in the camps on the outskirts of the state capital Akab, as anxieties of the possible impact of the census run high. In Darat, 36, lay beaten and bandaged in a wooden shack following an effort to prevent dozens of fellow Rohingya from fleeing Burma by boat. He asked them not to leave because we have to take part in the census, said Lamin, a 58-year-old retired policeman and de facto local leader, speaking his behalf. But it ended in violence. Darat was badly wounded, losing most of his teeth. The attack left him requiring strapping to his jaw. He was cut with knives on his head and hands and beaten with a pipe, Lamin said, blaming the clash on local human traffickers. The incident adds weight to observers' fears that the census is stirring up new divisions in the already combustible state. I think this is going to create a huge mess. Everyone is extremely worried this is going to erupt into a new stage of violence, said Chris Lewa of the Arakan Project, which campaigns for Rohingya rights. Burma's 800,000 Rohingya, who are considered by the UN to be one of the world's most persecuted minorities, face restrictions that hamper their ability to travel, work, access health and education, and even to marry. Many Rohingya are deeply distrustful of the government, which maintains that most in the community are illegal immigrants from neighboring Bangladesh, and fear it could use its census findings to somehow extinguish the potential citizenship claims. This survey forum does not have a dedicated box for Rohingya, who are not one of the country's 135 official ethnic minorities according to 1982 citizenship law. Before this discrimination law, Rohingyas are one of the Burma's official 144 ethnic minorities. Despite the fact that many can trace their ancestry back generations in Burma, but they can still identify themselves as Rohingya in the census. There is a box for other with space to write any group or name they wish to be identified as, which some see as a breakthrough in their efforts to assert their identity. Many of Arakan's Muslim population were listed as Rohingya in the last census, but the records were hidden by the government. We are labeled Bengali all the time. Evidence that we were born generations here, that we have been staying here, is crucial to us, Lamin told AFP. The census risks inflaming tensions at a critical moment in Burma's democratic transition, according to a recent study by the international crisis group ICG, which added that controversial sections on religion and ethnicity should be dropped in favor of a focus on key demographic data. said the results, many of which will be released before Burma holds its first national poll since the end of junta rule, had direct political ramifications because the country has some constituencies carved out along ethnic minority lines according to the population size. But the government and United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, have rejected those suggestions. They say information on ethnicity is needed as part of efforts to provide a crucial snapshot of the country for national planning. UNFPA's Burma chief, Janet Jackson, said most ethnic armed groups, apart from Kachin rebels near the Chinese border, had accepted the census. She told AFP that efforts are underway to ensure everyone is counted in Arakan sensitively and with calm, adding that the survey would not be linked to citizenship. The UN aims to find census takers among Arakan's Muslim population to ease intercommunal mistrust. But divisions fester, and in Akia, Buddhist politicians express deep animosity towards their Muslim former neighbors. There is no such thing as the Rohingya ethnicity. It is just a term. Ethnic Arakan states know their intention. It is a political aim, said Sri Mong, a senior member of the Arakan State Nationalities Development Party. The ICG said the previous census was believed to have deliberately underreported the size of Burma's Muslim population at 4 rather than 10%. Consequently, this census could show a misleading threefold increase in the Muslim population, a potentially dangerous call to arms for extremists in the Buddhist majority nation, the study said. For Muslims trapped between risking defiantly identifying themselves as Rohingya and the ongoing precariousness of statelessness, the path ahead is fraught with uncertainty, said Rohingya politician Chaw Min.